What's up guys, Mr. and Mrs. Stang coming back at you with another video. For today's video, I'm going to be doing an oil change on an S197 Mustang GT. Mine's a 2012, so this should be the same process for pretty much any 5.0 GT, but if you want to be a little more cautious, it will definitely cover the 2011 to 2014 Mustangs. So let's get right into it. You won't need a lot of tools, but the only tools you really need is a 15mm socket and a torque wrench. If you have a little bit of trouble getting it off, just make sure you spin it the right way. An oil filter wrench, and make sure you also have your own separate thing to drain your oil. And yeah, that's pretty much it. A lot of the times there's some Loctite on the bolt, so you might need something a little bit more torque to get it off. Bam, loose. So before you take your bolt off, you want to make sure you have a towel and a nice bin that can get all of your excess oil in it. Now that our bolt is loose, I'm going to go ahead and loosen it the rest. I decided to switch to some gloves because I don't know how hot my oil is. And you just let it drain out. Before you remove your oil filter, you will still be dripping back here for your oil pan, so I just put a little container there and then moved my oil bin up to catch the excess that's going to be coming from this oil filter here. So you should be able to get it off by hand. If not, just use your oil wrench and it'll come right off. Luckily mine is not that tight, so I can get it off by hand. Just go ahead and let that drain out for the remainder of the time. Now all the air is coming out, so you will get a little bit more coming out of the pan and from there too. And once that's all done dripping, go ahead and wipe down your undercarriage a little bit, get any excess oil off, and your hands for my example. After you take off your oil filter, you want to just make sure to get any excess oil off, wipe it off these cables and stuff over here. You know, you want to make sure you don't have any oil drips everywhere, you know, because that stuff can burn up and then smoke up, and it's just not good for the car. So just wipe off whatever excess you see there, and then we can put on our new oil filter. So before you put on your new oil filter, I got the Ford Performance Racing one. It's a little bit bigger, seems like it's a little bit better of a filter than this one. This one's small and the metal is more tinny. Before putting on your new filter, you want to take some brand new oil that you got. You just want to prime the filter a little bit. And just take some of that oil, put it in the cap. Put it on your finger and rub it around this O-ring right here. You want to get it all nice and lubed up. Dan knows what I'm talking about. Alright, there we go. Yep. And then you're ready to go and put on your new filter. So let's get right into it. So now you can take your new oil filter, put it up into place right here. And it'll just screw right in. And you kind of just tighten it by hand, actually. You don't even need to use your wrench. And your wrench won't fit on this one unless you have a bigger one. But Okay, and that should be good. As long as you can't really take it off, you know. Hand tightening it is fine. After you're done putting on your oil filter, you want to just grab your oil pan screw and you want to prime it, and make sure you clean the threads before you prime it. You just want to take some new oil, dab it onto your finger, rub it around this O-ring right here and on the threads a little, and you'll be good to go. Now we can go ahead and put our new, well, reuse our old oil pan screw. Alright, so before you put it on, you might want to just give it a wipe down. It might still be dripping a little bit, but it's fine. You can wait as long as you want. As long as it's pretty much out, you can go ahead and put your cap on. So I'm going to wipe the access right here. Just go ahead and throw it in. Make sure you don't cross-thread it or anything like that. Make sure it goes in straight. It would really suck if you did that, because then you'd have to redo your whole entire f***ing oil pan, and that would suck. Okay. Once you feel like you can't do it by hand, just grab your wrench. And you just want to hand tighten it. You don't need to do any torque specs to it. Some people like to use Loctite, but I'm not. You know, I'm going to be doing my own oil changes, so I just do it by hand. Alright, that'll do it. So after you tightened up your oil filter and your oil pan screw, you can go ahead and start putting in your quarts of oil. I normally put 8. Some people say 7, but I've tried 7 and it doesn't fill it up all the way. I like to use a funnel because it is easy to miss the hole. Nobody wants to miss the hole. I like to use AM's oil, 5W20 Advanced Engine Protecting Oil. I did a lot of research on Mustang oil, and apparently this is the best brand you can get for it. For Coyote motors specifically. 100% synthetic, American made. Who doesn't like American made products? Especially if you got an American made car. After you put 7 quarts in there, I always like to pull out my dipstick and just see how much we got in there. Make sure you wipe it off, then stick it back in. Then when you take it out, you want to make sure that these 2 holes are full of oil. So as you can see, we have one, and it looks like it's about halfway there with the lines in it. So that means it's not all the way full. So you want to try and get this one full as well. So we'll go ahead and add that another quart in there. After we checked our dipstick, we're going to put our 1/8 quart in, and that should do it. Alright, after you put in your 1/8 quart, just pull out your dipstick again, check it. And it looks like we have oil up to the 2nd mark. You can see it didn't stop in the middle this time, so it's all the way full, and that's it. After you put all your oil in, you want to just look underneath the car, make sure you don't have any leaks or anything. Looks like I'm good to go, so I'll show you the last step before you start the car. So when you get back into your car, you just want to hit this setup button, and you'll see right underneath your gauge here, you'll get then when you get to the oil life percentage, just hit reset to renew it, and there you go, oil life set to 100%, and now you're good to start the car. Once you're all done, you want to let the car run for about maybe 5 minutes and go ahead and take it for a drive. Make sure you don't have any leaks or seals or anything like that, and you'll be good to go. Alright guys, so that will do it on the oil change and filter for the S197 Mustang GT. Thanks for watching. If you want to keep up with more Mustang content, please subscribe, follow us on Instagram as well. We got plenty of stuff coming now that it's getting warmer out over here on the East Coast. Thanks for watching guys, bye.